Good morning. It is currently this morning. Packing everything. I got the Kart done last night at like 11:30, so I didn't really record any of it. But the chain and sprocket all done. I'm just gonna put this bad boy in the tray and a couple other things. We'll pretty much be right to head to Pucker. So let's do that. Righto, so we've officially made it to Pucker. We're just loading everything up, putting it all on the, setting everything up, and we'll be out to practice. So I'll get these out on the track.
Alright, so for the first practice session, this was on a Saturday, not on the Sunday. I rocked up on the Saturday just to get some free practice and understand the track a bit more. Because this track's a really good track once you actually nail it. So here we are going on to hot lap. Going down the straight, this straight you get really good speed. Coming into the first corner, I actually lift off a fair bit and probably shouldn't have done that, but coming into this next corner, I actually lose all my revs. And that's where I was struggling with the most, because all my revs, and then I'm pretty much a sitting duck going into this before I come into the bus stop. And that's what I noticed, I was really weak in that sector. But coming off the bus stop, I was a lot more stronger. And going down into turn 5 or 6, it's a flat out corner, which I didn't do there, and into downhill braking, which a lot of people will catch now. Trying to exit that corner as wide as possible for a better line, and then getting a bit further over to the left, which I didn't really do there. It was only my first lap, so I was kind of understanding. And then, yeah, going into here, it's such a good corner. I loved it. This track's a really good track once you get it flowing, which I didn't get it that lap, but oh well. Coming here, I'm letting people pass me just to try and follow them, but as you see, I can't see what number that is. He's just gone. I actually think that was probably one of the tag unrestricted, while I'm in the tag restricted class. But that was the first practice session over. Not much I could do. I did learn a lot more of the track, so I'm going to put you on to pass me now.
Okay, first practice is done for the Saturday. I'm about 3 seconds off. I don't reckon I've got the right sprocket. My revs aren't right. I'm running a 70 and I don't have a 71, so I can't really test. I do have a 73. I don't know if I should really risk it, but we'll see. Let's move on to the next practice.
Alright, coming into the next practice session, I was actually kind of late to the session, so I had to wait for clear exit before I was allowed to go out, which was a bit of a shame, but what can you do? I was trying to do some setup changes, so we're going to see what these setup changes could actually do and benefit the kart. I was kind of in clean space here, clean air, no one behind me, no one in front of me, so I had plenty of space. So let's see what we can do. Coming off the last corner, going on a straight. This straight I love, is really high speed and everything. I believe my Micron actually froze, which wasn't a good thing. But coming through here, I was actually a bit more quicker, but I'm still losing revs there no matter what. I actually found out later that there was a spacer in my exhaust, which helps for shorter tracks like Bendigo. So it didn't really help here, but I was feeling really good here. I didn't go out as wide as I probably should, after the bus stop. Coming in here, I'm finding myself still, not being able to open it as wide. I did open it a bit wide there, but probably turned in a bit too early and not getting enough space. But yeah, all in all, I was getting quicker and quicker every time I was out. So the more practice, the better. I hadn't been in this kart for maybe a month, so I was trying to get some practice in as best as I could, because the more time you're out, the less time you actually get to practice. But I believe up here, yeah, there was actually a crash. So one of the guys from Bendigo actually came to the practice, and yeah, he unfortunately, I believe he got punted off. I can't really remember what he said, unfortunately. But here's, I believe I have a moment. Yeah, coming here, and then boom. I've just got onto the dirty stuff. As you can see how dirty it is, and spun out, which, these things happen. But I wasn't the only one that was caught out by that, luckily, that day. But a bit of a shame. It was going to wreck my confidence going back down to that corner again, so I couldn't do much. But yeah, coming on to another hot lap, going into this corner, we're still losing a bit of speed, which I reckon I need to work on. Used a lot of curb going into here, still bottoming out here. Like I said, I didn't know at the time of recording the footage, I didn't know I had a spacer in it, but this is me voiceovering me, future me, knowing I went very wide there and struggled a bit there, using a lot more of the road coming off the bus stop. Coming in here, I did affect my confidence a little bit because, yeah, see, I nearly had another moment, and it was really bad. If you got that line wrong, you were pretty much around. So really knocking my confidence going into that downhill braking, unfortunately. But I didn't know what else I could really do. Still finding some corners I was turning in too good, which you don't want. So I'd probably have to go back to the drawing board, but that's pretty much about it for the second practice. Okay, so just finished up our last practice. We've kind of been sitting in the pits because just the kart's not right. I'm not feeling comfortable in it and all that. So we're just trying everything we can. I want to give a big shout out to Ringwood Kart Centre, and sorry if I'm wrong, GoughMotorsport. They hooked me up with some other tyres, which always appreciated. We're currently swapping the tyres around. There they are there with the motorsport. So big shout out to these guys. They've helped all day. Setting up the kart with my rear axle, my front. They've helped with everything. So just a big, huge shout out to them. And Ringwood for supplying stuff, giving me some... Alright, so my thing actually cut out. We're actually here on the Sunday for qualifying, and you can already hear my kart. And coming out of here, my chain fell off and I was out for qualifying, which is definitely not a way you want to start your day, which is really bad for me. So I had to push the kart onto the grass and get to safety as quick as I possibly could, which was not a good idea. Going into the first race, I had to go to the stewards and beg and please, I'm just kidding, just please let me race, which it was. So I was starting at the back in P9. So yeah, there was 11 of us put in, and I think 2 didn't show up. So starting 9th for my first heat, which is kind of good. Like, I don't know anyone here, so just trying to warm up my tyres the best I can and getting ready for my first heat. So here we are, all lined up, starting behind the number 45 of Ryan, good bloke. But here we go. I have a pretty good start actually, but I don't know anyone here. I didn't know how people race, so I kind of just backed off, and you know, I let his dad go. I let his dad in the 77 mark go through, and just tried to follow these guys, see if how dirty and clean they are, so then I can understand what I'm doing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I pretty much stayed behind, couldn't do anything, just following people and, you know, practicing my lines. It wasn't too cold of a morning, like the track still had a lot of grip in it from yesterday, like, but yeah, the track still had a lot of grip, which was really good. I really liked it. The tyres weren't as good, like the ones that I got off GoughMotorsport. I can't say their name properly because I just can't speak, but he actually goes out really wide here, Mark does, which gives me a really good run. I get into the slipstream best I can, and yeah, you can just see I'm slowly gaining on him, but can't really catch up. But he goes a bit wide there. I have a little look down here, but yeah, I closed the door on me. I couldn't get through and just lost all my revs. You can see how he just flies away from me. But that was pretty much my competitor for the weekend, was the 77 and the 45. They were my goals. Just, you know, have a bit of fun, try and learn some passing moves. But you can see it's pretty much gone. But coming down into the downhill braking, I seem to be catching him into this S section. But he gets me away a bit earlier. But after that was pretty much it. Nothing else happened. I just stayed behind and I lost a lot of time. Unfortunately, couldn't do anything. I believe this is this is one of my fastest laps. So this is my fastest lap of Heat 1, so I'll let you enjoy. But yeah, as you can see, I'm doing nothing. I can't keep up. But that's what you get, I guess, when you got to always learn the track, which that's what I was doing here. Just learning, finding my feet. I do get quicker, but the track's not cold, and that's what I like. I like when the track's not cold. It was super grippy and all that. I think we were like the 3rd class out, so there was actually kind of a bit of rubber put down for us already, thank God. There was a lot of people here that day, so kind of helpful. Still not, couldn't keep up. As you see, Mark was already gone, couldn't catch up with him at all. So yeah, that was the end of Heat 1. Not the best start, finished 9th. So let's rock on to Heat 2, which I actually didn't record anything between this because I was too busy trying to fix it and I kind of forgot. Which, yeah, you know, not a good idea considering I want to start doing these videos more often, just vlogging it. And as you saw, I still post the races if you just want to watch the races. But yeah, this is pretty much it. So if you want to watch the races, then go to my channel and just look there. But here we are for Heat 2, still starting 9th. Not really anything else spicy, just warming up my tyres and getting ready. A bit more grip on the track, which I did notice. And yeah, still learning everything, learning track. I think it was a second quicker than I was yesterday, the day before. So that's good, that was an improvement, which I'm really happy with. The kart felt amazing, like the setup's really getting better, thanks to Ringwood and GoughMotorsport. Can't say the names properly, but here we go for the second heat. I did stay with them, still learning what people do and all that, because like I said, I don't know anyone. I didn't know anyone at the time. I didn't know how people raced, and it seems all pretty clean. Everyone got through the first couple of corners pretty good, thank God. And just trying to keep up. Now this is where I kind of gone, alright, I want to catch up. My goal is to stay with these guys, and that's what I'm pretty much going to try and do. I still turned in a bit earlier, probably it was kind of a good line, but yeah, Marco's a bit wide but still has better exit speed than me. And this is where I kind of noticed that my chassis is getting too old. It can't really keep up. I think it's like 6 years old now, so it's getting a bit old. So I was just working with what I could get, working with what I've got, which is still good. It was a good beginner's kart, but yeah, as you see, I can't really keep up considering his is a brand new Arrows go-kart and everyone else's karts are like brand new Tony kart. I think, what were they, Tony karts, Kart Republics, and yeah, I just couldn't keep up. But here you go, there was a spin, the number 30 of Brock spun. Like I said, that corner just gets people, and that was his day done pretty much. He just got onto the dirty stuff and went around. Like what I said earlier, this truck will bite you going down into that downhill braking zone. Still trying to keep up with Mark. I am staying a lot closer than I was last heat, which is really good. It's showing that I'm improving a lot. But here, like you can just see that he flies away from me here because all my revs they disappear. Probably due to that spacer, but I'll take that out for the next club day. Go have a bit of a slide there, which is not ideal. Tyres were feeling pretty warm. Have a little look behind me just to make sure if the number 30 of Brock was still behind me, which he wasn't. Because yeah, it turns out he had to retired. Yeah, I think what did he say? I think his chain came off. Yeah, I remember. His chain came off. So you'll see coming here onto the straight that his kart is on the left. Yeah, just sitting there. So he was out for the session, so it put me up into 8th. So I didn't feel like I was still last. I was still last, but at least I wasn't dead last. But yeah, that's better than nothing. Just still, you know, staying with Mark, which it's a lot closer gap than Heat 1, and that's what I was pretty happy with. That I was actually improving a fair bit, which is actually pretty good because I was staying pretty close and all that. But that was the end of Heat 2. Couldn't do anything else. Still gaining. That's what I want. But yeah, still need to find time somewhere with a kart that's old. So let's rock into Heat 3. Alright, going into Heat 3. Brock is sitting next to me now due to not finishing, and here I get one of the fist bumps for the Gouds boys. So that was kind of nice of them. They were kind of just helping me through everything and making sure. That's what they told me. They told me that my kart's probably getting a bit too old, which, you know, karting's expensive, so you can't do much. But yeah, here we are for the third heat. Third heat of the day. The track's getting hotter, getting grippier, which is what I like. It's going to get faster and faster as the day goes on. Now I believe this heat is spicy 2 from memory. I can't really remember. So just warming up my tyres and getting everything sorted, trying to make sure I've got the right temperatures and all that. So we're going to do our best, and hopefully we can do better than what we were. We are gaining on Mark in the 77 a lot more than we were at the Heat 1 and all that. So I'm really happy that there was improvement all day. which is definitely something you want. The more improvement, the better. I'm sure the time of recording this, the next Puckypunyel race is this weekend, so another video will be out. Alright, so here we are for Heat 3, lined up, sitting behind the number 30, so let's go. We're staying a bit more, we go out on the high side just to see if we could do anything, which we can't, so still staying behind. But actually Mark goes a little bit wide there, so I try and just do something, but I couldn't do anything. After that corner I'm losing a lot, but he actually lost a fair bit too, so I'm still staying with him. Get right on his bumper, give him a little kiss just to let him know that I'm behind him, and he goes a bit wide. So staying with him, which is what you want to see. You want to see some battling. Going into the next corner, still staying with him just a bit, but he's getting much better speed than me. Now I can't keep up. I'm trying my hardest, but yeah, you know, it's all different. That's exactly what happens in these kind of sessions. You gotta learn. So this is my first time here, and I'm pretty impressed with what I would do. But just tucking into the slipstream, trying to stay with him. As you see, I do gain on the straights a little bit when I'm in the slipstream. But yeah, he's got more confidence going into turn 1, and then here he'll lose much more time than me. I'll lose much more time than him. But around the S section, I felt I was a lot more stronger than him. So if I could try and get like as close as I could to him in the S section, then I could be pretty fine. So I just had to work that out. Running really, really close to the dirt there, which is probably what you want for that line. And I believe, yeah, that corner wasn't too bad. I was pretty happy with that. So you see, I'm starting to hook up the track a bit more. Here I was probably struggling a little bit too. And here I reckon, it's kind of, with the chassis getting old, kind of affecting it too. I did have a go in one of the new Kart, like a new Kart, and yeah, the differences were very different. But he actually I actually had a little chance here. He did something I didn't really see. But yeah, see how he just leaves me alone. I tried different lines and all that, but it didn't really work, unfortunately. But yeah, here we go, going into the bus stop. I believe I go, yeah, I'm getting out there now, trying to get that line as wide as I can, and then, boom. The number 45 of Ryan goes out. Like I said, that corner will bite and it will tackle. So moving up into 8th again, which I'm pretty happy with. Like, I'm not dead last anymore because he actually didn't retire. He stayed into the race, so it means I wasn't dead last, so I was pretty happy. Now I need to itch my head. Okay, I'm back. I was itching my head. So yeah, Ryan spun out. So I'm going to try and catch his dad and try and stay with him. As you see, I'm staying much more closer than I was with him than Heat 1. I try and have a little look, but still nothing. I can't do anything. If I went too deep, I would have just ran into him. Probably should be going out wider there, which I only just realised from the footage, but you can't notice that from the onboard. But yeah, so Ryan still stayed in the race. I don't think he had any damage, so he's completely fine. But as you see, I actually had a really good gain there, and then I believe he leaves me here. Yeah, he leaves me in the dust here. But coming off this last corner, I believe, yeah, I gain on him. Gaining, get back in the slipstream. Because you can see in that slipstream, I'm slowly catching on him. But that was the end of Heat 3. So getting closer, which I'm really happy for. It's really good. So I finished P8 again, pretty happy. Still trying to figure out what I could do in that time because like I said, I didn't know any of this yet. So yeah, rocking on to the finals. So we had Mark and Ryan start in front of us. So we could see what we could do. I felt really confident now. I was staying with him a lot more. So I felt, I might have a chance for P7 here. So I was pretty happy with that. Just warming up the tyres for the last time. The finals, I believe, was 8 laps. So I had 2 more laps to try and catch him. So like that last heat, if I was only that close to him, imagine if I had another 2 laps. So here we go. Getting all ready, trying to stay in formation. Probably should have tried and stayed as close as I could, but I was still giving him a bit of space. I probably should have put my bumper up against him, but it is what it is. Just trying to figure out what I could do, what was my best approach for this, where was I going to catch people. If it's going to catch Mark, had to be downhill braking or into this XS section. There was nowhere else I could catch him. So we could see what we could. Just trying to stay focused here, trying to get a really good line. Starting on the inside, probably what you want. But here we go, lights out and away we go. Doing some crofty invitations. Coming into here, I believe Ryan, yeah, he has a good send on the number 30 of Brock. And then this is where contact happens. They just didn't see each other and bang into each other. I backed off there because Ryan closed the gap, couldn't get through. And yeah, there was contact there. I don't know if Ryan actually had any damage. I think he was fine. So just trying to stay with him. I saw he might have damage. This is my opportunity to try and grab him. But he was faster, so I was just trying to see if I could follow his lines, get into his times. And around this heat 3 and finals, I was actually into the 46s. At the start of the day, I actually started in the 48. In the start of the Saturday, I actually started in the 48. So the fact that I took 2 seconds out was pretty happy. I'm still 2 seconds behind, but I'm still happy from 48 to a 46. So why Ryan and Mark battle? I thought this was my time. You know, they're going to wear their tyres out, and they're just going to slow each other down. So I'm going to try and stay with them best I could, but try and stay behind a bit because I don't want to get caught up in the fight, and maybe they might make contact or crash or do something and helps me move up places. But Ryan was pushing his dad along and slowly leaving me for dust, which was probably not what I really wanted, but I couldn't really do anything. I was kind of a sit and duck, if I'm honest. Yeah, as you see, they actually battle here. I actually lift my curtain up a bit because I think my temperatures weren't right. So I lifted up here, and this is actually where something spicy happened. So Ryan and Mark go too wide into that corner, and then they make contact together. So kind of see my opportunity. Mark slows down too, so we go too wide into the bus stop, and we're barely an inch away, but I take both of them, which I'm so happy with. So let's have a look at a replay of this. So Ryan and Mark go together, and then Ryan turns in, Mark goes a little bit wide, and then bang, Ryan gets airborne. So we actually take both of them, which I'm really happy for. I was not expecting that. In that bus stop, you don't normally make an overtake in there. So I was pretty happy the fact that I was able to get him, but very close to touching. I did see him in my mirror, my side eye, so I quickly gave him a little bit of room, but he wasn't close enough, so I was able to hold the line. So I was pretty happy. I was sitting in 7th place now, so I wasn't dead last, and I wasn't 8th. I was actually improving, which I was really happy for. But I had Mark right behind me, so I had to try and defend myself. Coming into this corner a lap later, Mark actually rear ends me, as you see me struggle here. But now I know he's behind me. I'm looking for where he is, but he's not close enough, so I was able to take the corner. But he actually had a really good corner there and got side by side with me, so I go very defensive coming into here, which helps me. So I was able to hold my line and take him. But I believe, yeah, I get into the slipstream here to put my head down, try and get more speed, because he's side by side with me, even though you can't see it. Coming here and he just overtakes me. He got me. But I'm going to try and stay with him. I have a look here. He actually went a bit wide, so I get a bit closer. But he's, yeah, he had the better revs, but I'm still staying with him. I want that position. I was in that kind of zone that, okay, I'm with them, I can grab him, I can take his position back. Just trying to stay with him as best as I could. Going into the downhill braking, I get a bit more confident on the brakes than he was there. I'm still probably got a bit scared after what happened the day before. But yeah, he beats me there a little bit. But coming into this corner, he actually has a slide. His rear end comes out, so here was my chance. I had a really good line. Get right behind him, get into the slipstream, pull out right next to him, staying side by side with him, but he puts me onto the inside, so then I have to lift off. I probably could have gone a bit further in, but I didn't want to risk it. Trying to still stay with him because I want that position back. But yeah, pretty much by now, it was over. 7th place with him. And I was still trying to stay with him, but coming into the bus stop, I come out of this and I had a slide, and that wrecked my run. If that didn't happen, I probably could have stayed with him. I was kind of a bit upset and a bit angry with that, but I was trying to stay with him, try and use that anger into driving, but there was no chance of me catching him now. Unless he made some mistake, I couldn't catch him. But yeah, he made no mistake there, so I couldn't catch him, but I did find I was getting better exit speed than him. I was hoping if I can try and hold that exit speed, that I might be able to catch him, but that was it. I think the gap here is probably 3 to 5 tenths. So I was still behind him, pretty close, still in the slipstream, and then a little bit of dirty air. But just trying to stay with him. But as you can see, he just leaves. He pretty much vanishes. Trying to stay with him. I'm getting to the point where I was a bit tired. It's near the end of the day. I was a bit tired and everything. But trying to stay with him. I was desperate for that P7. Still P8 though, so it's an improvement from P9. So we went from P9 to P8 to P8, and what possibly will be a P8 here, because he's pretty much just leaving me for dust now. There's nothing else I could do. So coming around the final corner for the final lap, and that was pretty much it. There was nothing else I could do. That was the end of my pucker. So if you guys really did enjoy this kind of different thing I did, let me know in the comments below if I should keep doing it and what I should improve. But thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.